jive and it loves me.
Right, the next speaker has received numerous accolades and co-founded her first social media company at the age of 19. Now, still looking the age of 19, she's the co-founder and marketing director of Mainstream Online Buzz, MOB. Please welcome Jolene Sim.
I have to get you some Irish brew later, right?
Thank you.
Right, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you so much for staying all the way up to this hour on a Saturday. I'm actually honestly a little bit intimidated, so not because of anything, but I'm sure a lot of you probably know more about the coffee industry than I do, right? I not too long ago, I was 19 and actually started off my first company in social media advertising. Today, it's been close to 4 years now, so you roughly know my age. But essentially, it's been a very interesting journey. On the slides, you can see some of our past and present clients. But here's the thing, right? We've dealt with many brands, ranging from Maybank, Asia Gold, Taichung Restaurants, and there are lots of social media companies out there that tell you that, hey, I do Facebook, I do Instagram, I do Twitter for companies. But here's my challenge and here's my real question. A lot of people can get you Facebook fans, but how many of them can get you loyal customers? And we took a step back. And if there's one thing that I'd like to share with you today here would be the real challenge in social media or digital marketing to date is the challenge where agencies are trying to prove to you that we can actually help you get more customers. And Facebook, Instagram, Twitter actually bring you business and money and ROI. And if you tell me that's the main problem that's in the industry. And that's why we are currently the only company in Malaysia that basically does something really different, and we like to call it social loyalty rather than just social media. How many of you are familiar with the concept of loyalty? Think bonus link. Raise your hands. It's like my mother's generation thing, right? Okay, I'll take a step back and say, what happens in bonus link? You take the card, you go to, oh, sorry for those people who are still using bonus link. I don't mean you're old, okay? But essentially what happens is, when you have a bonus link card, you go to a petrol station, you pump petrol, you get points, right? But wouldn't it be also interesting if every time you Facebook, you tweet, you posted up an Instagram photo, you also get points? And then you can use those points to redeem for things about brands that you actually care about. So that's social loyalty, and that's what we have been doing for close to the past 2 years. We have our own app, we have our own customers. But here's the thing. If you ask me, social media and tools are 50% of the story. The other 50% belongs to you. What makes someone have a reason to stay loyal to your shop and your merchant? Now, I'm going to skip the next 2 slides because I'm not selling anything to you, but just so that you know, what happens here is conventional loyalty program deals with rewarding you points at point of sale. What we do for companies are also providing you a platform and tool to reward points whenever you shop online, you read an email, you tweet about a brand, you pin something on Pinterest, you Facebook something, you watch a YouTube video, you post up an Instagram. And we generally help you increase the lifetime value of a customer to a brand. And these are some of our past accolades and customers. We got 150% ROI for Asia Gold, for example. But I'll adhere to the rule that there's not going to be any sales today. And essentially, the real portion about the matter here would be, there needs to be a strong reason behind why you're doing what you're doing on social media. And if that's the one thing that I would like to allow everybody to walk out this room with, is to actually get you starting to think about that why. Because any social media person or a marketing person that tells you this is the gospel truth, and this is the one way that will work for a business, please kick the person out the door. Because one way that works for a restaurant may not work for yours. But here's the first question. And this question is getting more and more important towards the end of the year, because a lot of my customers or brands that we work with start asking us to plan. A year plan, or like what's going to happen next year, what's going to happen the year after that. And one of the first things that appear in the minds of a business owner would be, how much money should I set aside for digital marketing? Realistic enough, right? And here's what the trends are like in the world. And this figure came in 2014. Sorry, I think I skipped. Sorry, before I even talk about the figures. Do you know that the most popular social media channel up to today is still, guess, Facebook? Raise your hands. Yeah, Facebook is still the most popular social media channel that brands engage on. But one of my first questions to brands who are on Facebook would be, did you know that, for example, in 2014, beginning of this year, and this is an actual chart, before October 2013, if you didn't spend any money on Facebook for advertising, organically you would reach 12% of your fans, 4 to 12% of your fans. So imagine you had 100 customers on your Facebook fan page. If you didn't spend any money, you reach 4 of them every day if you posted. That's rather depressing, right? Now, what if I told you that it just got even more depressing this year? Because in February this year, Facebook changed their algorithm even more. And organically, if you did not spend any money on Facebook, essentially you would reach as low as 2% to 6% of your total Facebook fans. Which means you could have 10,000, you could have 100,000 fans on your Facebook, but not all of them are actually seeing what you post. Does that mean Facebook sucks? And this is an actual post, and the post is identical. They had the same image, same copy, posted at the same time for Snickers on Twitter and Facebook. Check out the total number of retweets and follows. Right? And if you can't see from the back, for Facebook there was 3,250 likes. On Twitter, there were 34,000 retweets. And Facebook had more fans or followers than Twitter. So what am I trying to say? Does it mean that as a restaurant owner or a business owner, you should no longer be on Facebook? The fact of the matter here is, Facebook still has the highest rate of penetration in the world. Let's have a show of hands. How many of you don't have a Facebook account? Okay, we have 2 in the whole room. The fact of the matter here is, out of 13.3 million population, 45.5% of the population is still on Facebook. Although Instagram has a higher number of engagement, but the older customers are not on Instagram. Although Twitter could be, more engaging, younger customers may not be on Twitter. So Facebook still has an edge due to mass. But then, the impact towards this would be, before 2012, the distribution of budget would be, paid media is still relatively low. A lot of brands focus on the quality of content in order for you to actually attract and retain more earned than owned media. But from this year onwards, the trend has been shifting towards the fact that, honestly guys, if you want to have a good Facebook fan page, you got to face the fact that sooner or later your paid media has to increase. Meaning, you actually have to set aside amount of ads budget. Now, that comes back to my question before that. A lot of my customers are starting to ask us, Jolene, so it's all right and fair. We actually now need to set aside more money for, social media marketing, including Facebook. So how much money exactly should I set aside? In 2014, this is the Gartner's report that came in by surveying companies globally. How much money on average do you set aside for marketing? On average, companies allocate approximately 3 to 10% of total revenue on marketing spend. And, to explain it a little bit more further, digital marketing is on average of 3.1% of your total revenue. For companies that do not have traditional marketing, because not all of us are sneakers, you can say that 3 to 10% of your total revenue can be set aside for digital marketing. So, that's the fact. But we also need to own up to the fact that although Facebook is mass, perhaps because of the change in rules and regulation, it's about time that companies who would like to have more word of mouth start going beyond just Facebook and also venturing into other channels like Instagram, blogs, Twitter, etc. But like what I said, you want to be able to convert Facebook fans into your customers. You want to be able to get Twitter followers into to become your customers, right? Although there are tools like ours that allow you to identify who are your most loyal customers, there are also a certain element of special sauce. What is the reason that makes a customer loyal to you, right? And I'm also going to show you some of the other tools that we use beyond social loyalty, so that if you walk out today from this talk, you get some free stuff that you can use for your business, right? That sounds good, right? So anyone can get fans and followers. Not every brand can convert them into advocates or loyal customers. And if you ask us, it's a matter of content, it's a matter of tools. You need to provide a reason, and you need to have the right tools for a brand to continue to engage them and to make them come back. And here's what I'm going to actually throw the ball game back to you if you are a restaurant chain owner or you're a business owner or you're a barista. Now, a lot of people like to treat social media in isolation. That's why you see a lot of companies running selfie contests. Anyone can run a selfie contest, but how do you run it differently and unique to your brand? And if you own a cafe outlet, and by chance, sometimes you think, okay, maybe because I'm a small cafe outlet and I don't have that much marketing budget, hence I am in a weaker position. And I couldn't begin to tell you why that's wrong, because there's so many things wrong with that. Because you are small, sometimes you can have a lot of flexibility of what you can do that can attract more customers. And I'm going to actually show you some of the other examples, which I think was pretty good. And these cafe chains or outlets actually managed to attract customers just by thinking a little bit out of the box. Can I actually link anything physical that I can do on ground and make that social? Being social is not about being on Facebook or being on Twitter, but how can I create shareable content on this multiple platform? And I think that's the key. You see Starbucks cup here? They recently launched a campaign that allowed you to actually decorate your Starbucks cup. And although Starbucks had coffee cups since God knows how long and paper cups, did you know that they are also one of the most highly shared images for Starbucks? Simply because people can take up a pen and write their name on Starbucks coffee cups. I never knew that until I did research. And this is one of our customers in Singapore. Anyone can give out a discount voucher during your anniversary or of your cafe, restaurant, or chain. But here's the thing, right? You can give out the discount voucher and lose your margins. But can you run something a bit different? What they did was they did a chili eating contest, where if you can finish a bowl of chili salad, mango salad, within 60 seconds, you would get the bowl for free plus a dining voucher. And if you don't, you just pay for the salad. They increased their sales for the month, and it was a very shareable content on social media because you get to see people eat hot stuff and basically, take pictures of them, right? And can you also think out of the box? Because you are a small cafe chain, there are a lot of things that you can do that larger chains can't. For example, My Burger Lab can have a coin flipping contest where, when you check out your cafe cup at the counter, or your burger at the counter, the cashier basically flips a coin, and if it's heads or tails, they return you $5, right? It has nothing to do with social media, but it became a very shareable content on social media simply because as a cafe owner, you start thinking about things that are out of the box. Can I do this for my outlet? Imagine Old Town or Starbucks doing this, they will die. All right? Sometimes your biggest weakness can become your biggest strength. And that's one of the things that you should think about when you step out of the shop today. And a lot of people start telling you, be relevant. What is being relevant? Being relevant is not talking about like Katy Perry because it's trending on the news, but how do you tie that back into your company? Because it creates word of mouth. For example, during Merdeka, Teh Tarik plays did a 99-cent teh tarik giveaway for a certain time, I think, in the day. And all these are very shareable social media campaigns, but if you notice, none of them happen in isolation of your business. And that's also one thing which I want to say. Now, so it all boils down to what's the reason that someone is going to talk about you? What is the reason that somebody is going to stay loyal to your brand? Then you look at tools which can help you magnify that reach. Now, for the next few couple of slides, I have some like free tools that we use for our clients. If you want, you can basically jot them down. Some of them are like free, some of them are really cheap because I don't own any of them, so I'm not actually selling them to you. But hopefully, these are some key takeaways. This is canva.com. If you don't have an in-house designer and you basically need to design stuff, this is actually a really cool tool that allows you to actually design everything ranging from banners, buntings, posters, presentation sites, social media sites. They have templates, they have cool fonts. The only downside is that they ask you to pay for photos. But then if you actually have your own photos, you don't need to pay at all for this tool. So this is Canva. The second one is Grow Social. This is okay, a lot of companies like to run like things like photo contests, caption contests, etc. There are a lot of very cheap third-party tools that allow you to do this. Grow Social is not the best, but it's the cheapest. So far, based on our extensive research, Grow Social goes as low as $9 per month. And that's cheaper than a cup of cold brew at times. So you get what I mean, right? So this is Grow Social. Go ahead and check it out. Personally, we prefer better tools like ShortStack or Woodbox, but Grow Social is good enough if you just want, for example, a contact form and or you want an app that does a photo contest. So Grow Social. And basically, I'm done. On a side note, everyone that's here today, and if you would like to take up the opportunity, we're also giving out like our social loyalty app for free. So if you're interested, the free trial is like 1 month. You can get my name card later. Not selling. Thank you.
Okay. I'm not going to comment on anything because I might go to jail. She's 19 still.
I love coffee, I love tea, I love the jabber jabbing in love.